Okay, today I'm going to be showing you how to draw a house in two-point perspective. So what you're going to need graph paper, a simple pen, and a ruler. To start off, we need to know how to do basic two-point perspective, and what you're going to do is draw a horizon line and 2 points at each end of the horizon line, and then lightly make lines coming out diagonally like that, and then the other side is we're going to pick two of these lines, this one and this one. Those look good. And then we're going to make vertical places as the back corner of the back walls of the house, and then this is the front corner where these two lines intersect, right there. And then we're going to have this where this intersects here. This is going to be the top of the box of the house. And then we need to go from this point to this point. And go like that, so that we now have the other side of the top. And so this is just, a rectangular prism in two-point perspective, and that's what we're starting off with. You can darken the lines. There we go. And now off of that, we can add whatever we want. So say if we want an overhang, then what you can do is follow this line out to the point you want your overhang, and then go from the corner to this point. These 2 points are the most important things. You're basically doing everything either like this along here or like this along here. Pretty much everything. So now you're going to go from this point to this point and draw a line, and then just like this. Let's darken in this line. And now we're going to go from this point to this point. And then this point again to this point. And then draw a vertical line here. And as you can see, it's more of a modern looking house with a flat roof. We have our overhang in this area, and this area is vertical. And then on this back side, this is sticking out from this wall, So this is farther in this direction. So we want to go from this point, from this corner, until where it intersects with this wall. Darken the lines. It looks like it's in pretty good perspective. Now we can draw in some windows. As you can see, this is just a very simple house, basically just a box. And that's a good way to start off. So a vertical line, and then from this point again to the corner of the window. Actually, it's based along that previously drawn line. And then another vertical line for the other side of the window. And then from this corner of the window, this point, to make the top. Darken the lines. And there we go, there's a big glass front to the house. And to make it more realistic, we'll put in some steel beams, because you're probably not going to want your window to just be that much glass without any support. And then, after we're done with that, also remember, make this one the widest between the two, and the one at the far end the shortest between the two, because it's going off into the distance that way. And if these are even if they're the same dimension in reality, this one's going to appear smaller than this one is because of the perspective. And now we'll make the door. So from this point, and then we're just going to draw a line, darken that in, and that is the top of the door. It's all actually very simple once you get it down. It looks perfect perspective because, well, if you do it right, it is going to be basically perfect perspective. Now, obviously, this isn't quite perfect, but it's turning out pretty well. And we can make a little frame around the door. Again, this point. And then draw to make the top of the door. And going back to the horizon line, in this perspective, it's very important. Because, for example, this overhang, since it is above the horizon line, we can see the underside. This here is all the underside of the overhang. Now, say we were to add a small porch or patio or something like that. Then, since it's below the horizon line, we would be able to see the top of the porch. Just like this. There you go. Here you can see the top. This is the top. And then here you can see the bottom, because this is above the horizon line and this is below our horizon line. So that's basically a simple modern looking house in 2-point perspective, and you can go in and add more detail, make the frames around the windows if you want to. Remember, the most important thing is these 2 points. Everything is going to be coming from those 2 points. You don't even need to draw these lines in. Those can just be reference points. But as long as you're doing everything, as you can see, this line straight up with that point. This line with that point. At the top of our door with that point. The bottom of the house with that point on this side. Again, every line we've drawn has lined up with it, except for the vertical areas. And of course that is only if you're doing cubes or rectangular prisms. If you're not doing that, then it becomes a lot more complicated. But for a basic house, all you're really going to need is the rectangular prism shape. So there you go. That's a tutorial on how to draw a house, a simple modern house, in 2-point perspective.